Best.
Me too.
All right. Happy Monday morning to all of you. You can tell Careyann and I completely dressed up for everybody this morning. We are showing up exactly the way we are this morning on Monday morning. And I want to say happy fall. It's finally feeling like fall weather. You guys are under what, 3 feet of snow, Careyann, over there in Denver?
Oh, well, the mountains, yeah. Here,
Mm,
maybe 3, 4 inches, but we
yeah.
we love having because of our fires.
Yeah.
It's really a blessing.
That is, yeah, that's insane. I was in Chicago this past weekend and I did not pack for Chicago, even though I brought my heavy jacket. All the clothes I had were super light. And I wound up buying a beanie and gloves and a scarf.
Exciting.
Do you know how many beanies and scarves and gloves I own from different states? Because I travel there, forget to bring them, and then I'm like, crap. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
we know, Colleen, you just want to go shopping.
right. That's what it is. I do what fulfills me, which is what we're talking about on today's show. And Careyann has a really great message for all of us this morning because she's been in one industry for a really long time as the America's Franchise Matchmaker. And she's really fulfilling so many people's dreams of owning their own businesses. And she's starting to feel unfulfilled. And I would love to talk about what's going on in your life, Careyann. And I think this is a really important lesson for many women to learn this morning.
Well, I mean, I think, Colleen, you're always someone who touts, let go of the things that no longer serve you, right?
Yeah.
And that's so much easier said than done, for sure. But I think, as females, we do take on a lot of shit that other people don't want to deal with or
Mhm.
won't deal with, and we just get it done because we're doers. That's
Yeah.
what we do. And but we often forget about what we need. And so I think, 2020 has had so many challenges across the board. I mean, the positive thing is, oh my gosh, this year is, think of all the chapters they're going to be able to write in the history books about
Yeah.
2020, right?
Yeah.
Like tremendous, and we are literally living history. And I think, this is the silver lining for me is it's really been a forced pause, a
Mhm.
global forced pause. I mean, it's so exciting to think about all the different businesses that are going to pivot with all the new inventions and integrations that are going to change everyone's lives moving forward
Mhm.
in really fascinating ways. And I think, I work with people every day that are like, feeling the same thoughts of, I've worked for this company for I don't know how many years, and I love my job, but I'm not feeling fulfilled anymore. I have a void. And a lot of times people can't figure out what that void is right away. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
they're like, what is that? They can't like go, oh, boom, there it is. They can't put their finger on it, but they're
Yeah.
feeling that restless feeling of something's missing. And for most of the people that I work with, that missing piece is growing and building something that is theirs,
Mhm.
right? An asset that has all this positive momentum to create their new what next,
Yeah.
and to really hire people in their own community, have a sense of pride in what they're doing, love and enjoy what they're doing every day. And that is through a franchise investment, right? And so it's been very fulfilling for the people that I've served, but unfortunately, you know, sometimes you just don't feel fulfilled yourself. And so you
Mhm.
start looking for your what next. And I got to be honest, I talk to a lot of business women on a regular basis because I'm all about supporting uh, local and national small businesses. Um, and gosh, there's a lot of women going, you know what? I'm not feeling fulfilled anymore. I've always wanted to do this, or I've always wanted to do that, or I've always thought about this, but all these other things were stopping me. And now they're like, there's no more excuses, man. I'm going for it.
Mhm.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's kind of scary, right? To figure out where you want to do, what do you want to do when you grow up? I mean, that's how our whole family business started. We had a dinner with friends and family, drinking some good wine, eating some good food, and talking about what we wanted to do when we grow up. And here I am almost 50 and still having that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't come overnight. And I'm glad you made that point because I do talk about letting go what no longer serves you. And sometimes it takes you a year to let go of what no longer serves you, or constant daily practice of working on letting go what doesn't serve us. So it has to become a habit. You have to form new habits. And it's not easy to do quickly. So I don't want anyone to feel bad about themselves because they haven't been able to let go of things that they've been just kind of, dragging around with them. But, that boulder starts getting really heavy when you're dragging it uphill. And the only way for us to be able to feel free is doing what serves us, and at the same time we're serving others. So what's fulfilling you? And it does take a long time. I didn't decide overnight to just hop from my corporate job to starting my own business. This was several years of talking and thinking, and then making the final decision, and then even then second guessing, oh my gosh, what did I just do? And then you just realize, hey, I'm the one that's created my success all along. I'm the one that can continue to create my success all along. It's not that, you don't have to necessarily rely on that paycheck from that corporate position. You can create the wealth for yourself. You just need to look at what avenue to do that. And I look at 2020 as the silver lining of the opportunities that are available to people to finally push them over that hurdle or that
Yeah.
brink of, if you're not living on the edge, I heard this weekend, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. And I love that, right? It's
That's
pretty cool
awesome.
to think about it. How can we live on the edge and really do the things we desire? And I always go back to, if the doctor told me, hey, Colleen, you have a year left. What are all the things I haven't done? What would I want to have accomplished in my life? What would make me feel satisfied and happy to know I did what I wanted to do? And I'm not even close to that yet. So we never know what tomorrow is going to bring. And for a lot of us, the pandemic was a real slap in the face of, look how fast the world can change from doing what we're always doing, normal stuff, to this pandemic of a lockdown. And now, companies are making fancy face masks, and it becomes part of our daily wear of our clothing. Who would have ever thought?
I just told my husband last night, I'm like, I can't believe it would just be amazing to know the amount of money the companies are cashing in on with just selling masks. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
went to my local supermarket and in the baking aisle, there's women with blinged masks on. I'm like, really? And have you noticed that the guys on TV, their
Yeah.
ties are matching their masks?
Yes. I tell the
Color
story all the
coordinated.
time. Yeah, if it wasn't for my daughter-in-law's pivot in making children's clothing and no one was buying them, in 1 month she pivoted to making masks and made $50,000 in 1 month because she
Oh
was
my God.
one of
Holy
the
cow.
first to the market. Yeah, she had
Wow.
never made that much doing children's clothing in the past, but because she pivoted, and now that's part of what she does, is making masks. And that was something she never would have even thought was in, her arsenal of what she would have done as a business owner. So we have to also not you I would say not utilize what's happening in the economy as scarcity and for lack thereof, and for us to have this fear, right? But utilize what's happening with the economy and with the changes as opportunity for
Opportunity.
what we can do moving forward, right?
Absolutely.
And it's just really where your mindset has to be. And it literally is a tweak in your mindset
It is.
of, do you want to be in fear, wondering if you can be laid off again or furloughed again? Or, I met a waitress in Chicago and she's a single mother this last weekend. And I said to her, I know someone who's hiring right now. And if you have a laptop and a Wi-Fi, we can get you a position and you never have to worry about this again. And she was super thankful, but scared. Like that's something she's never considered before. And I think she might have thought I wasn't real either when I was offering it to her. I'm like, no,
Like dreaming.
this is real. Like I would have given anything as a single mother to be at home with my children.
Oh
And
yeah,
I mean, I looked for every opportunity for that and there wasn't. And now the opportunities are endless for us to
they're
work from
abundant.
home. They're
Yes.
abundant. So look for your little nugget in all of this of how you can, explode. So what else do you have going on, Careyann?
Just finding my lane and working on some projects, some side projects to, my business, when I'm working with people and helping them evaluate and matching them up with franchises, it's a very serious business. I mean, we're talking about a major decision. We're talking about a major investment, sometimes as much as a home. And so it's very serious. I mean, yes, I have a lot of fun with the people I work with, but it is very serious. And so I kind of feel like the fun Careyann hasn't been able to play. And so I'm really focusing on what's going to fulfill me and make Careyann happy,
Yeah.
and what are the things that, I can do that will fulfill me, because that in turn will allow me to continue
Yeah.
to really serve the people and fulfill them even greater. I think it will
Yeah.
all come full circle, right? And
Yeah.
so it's been a really interesting time to, I think we all have in the back of our minds things that we think about, things that we
Mhm.
naturally gravitate towards, that just come easy for us, or we have friends or family members that say, oh yeah, you would be so good at that, and you're a natural at that. I mean, you got to be careful, because sometimes our family and friends are a little woo-hoo, but you got to just be like, anchored to reality, and then just be like, oh my gosh, yeah. And
Yeah.
it is scary to start taking steps to say,
Yeah.
if I change this, if I start doing this, what will my world look like? And I'm a big believer in, you got to put it out there to the universe. I mean, you got to scream it to from the mountaintops, because the universe can't read your mind,
Right.
right? And so you got to tell everybody, you got to tell your friends, your family, you got to tell yourself constantly, like, have those 3x5 cards. It's all about the mindset, like you said.
Yeah.
Our bodies and our minds are so connected, but if our mind is in a bad place, nothing good is going to come of that, right?
Mhm.
And we can apply that to the analogy of working out, of eating healthy, of what your appearance is, what your outlook is on life. I mean, the cliche is, the glass is half empty or half full, but there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, you can sit around and grumble that you're a victim in this pandemic, and you lost your job, and you're not able to figure out what to do, or you can get creative and you
Mhm.
can start connecting with people. And I really think the world is so much more connected
Mhm.
because of Zoom. I mean, think about this. Before then, nobody really cared about Zoom. And now, like, everybody's zooming every day, right?
All day long. It's the
All day
best.
long,
Yeah. It's the
zooming.
best.
And I think that I don't think we even have the ability to realize
Mm.
the positive changes that we're going to come out of in 2021 and 22, and 23, that we were all forced to stop. I mean, like, literally
Mhm.
the world kind of paused.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For
And we were
real.
all just kind of like, in this freeze form. And
Mhm.
then, we had shock from it. And then we came back from that.
Mhm.
But there are still people in shock. Like, people tell me all the time, oh, well, I'll think about that when this COVID, blows over. It's
It's
not
been
going to
like
blow
9 months.
over. It's here, baby. It ain't going nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
It's not, I'm not even the Wyoming wind could blow this shit over, right?
Right. It's like
It's here.
saying the flu, oh yeah, well, whenever the influenza goes away, it's
It's
like,
here
no. So this has changed the world forever.
forever.
It's going to be the way life is. So we need to make sure that we're prepared for that. And what are you doing today that can change your tomorrow, that can change your 2021? And if you're still sitting in shock, you might want to wake up because
It's
you're
time
running
to
out of
wake up.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
It's
running out
time to
of
wake
time.
up. And why not focus on things that fulfill you,
Yeah,
that make you happy, that make you glow, that I mean, because none of us know how long we have on this crazy
no,
planet, right? And
no.
so we might as well just totally go all out and just find something that we absolutely love
Yeah.
and make it yours. I mean, if you don't, shame on you. Shame on
Shame
you.
on you. I know Careyan's up to some great stuff. So, one, you have to start following her on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. So, just look up Careyann Golliver. I tagged her in this video. You definitely want to start following her because she's going to be doing some really cool stuff coming up soon. And, ladies, you're going to want to take advantage of what she's doing. And I also want to put the message out there, if you or if you know someone that has always wanted to open their own business, but they're a little nervous because of the failure rates of businesses in the first year, in the first 5 years. It's been proven, and you all know I've been in the franchising industry for over 20 years. Franchising is a safer way to go because it's a proven product. And so you're duplicating the efforts of what someone else has already put into place to make the business a success. So it's really that someone there holding your hand the entire time. And what I love about Careyann services is they're free. So she'll match you up with a franchise at no obligation, no cost to you, for you to really see if this is something for you. And I say, if you're just nervous because you're like, well, I don't know if I can afford it. Well, I don't know if I could be a franchisee. There's no obligation. Just check it out, reach
Yeah.
out to Careyann and say, I don't know what this is about, or even if I could do this, but I would love to see if there are options of what I could do as a franchisee, even if you were making some money already and you wanted to start it on the side. It's something you could certainly do. So the options are endless, but if you don't research and look into these options, you just don't know what's available for you out there. And so I definitely say, check it out. Get with Careyann, private message her, DM her. She'll put some information in the bottom of the video as well, like her email address and how you guys can reach her. So, Careyann, thanks so much for being on the Member Monday Spotlight this morning.
Woo-hoo.
We
So
love
I
spotlighting our members.
yeah.
All right, you guys. Thanks for being with us, and we hope you all have an amazing week. Bye.
Bye-bye.